Hey guys, this is Jsnow and welcome to Magic Spellslingers. So in this we're going to go over how to play Teferi and a meta deck that I found that works pretty well that has put me into the Diamond League if I look correctly. No, Platinum, right now I'm Platinum. I don't play much Ranked, but if I were to play Ranked I could probably get to Mythic with this deck pretty easily, but it's a slow deck. So what does Teferi do? So let's go to our Spellslingers. So anyway, let's go back and let's go to the deck, or actually let's go right here. So Teferi, he starts out with 25 health, his 3 signature cards, and his ability is Outwit, which is absolutely OP, which is basically every third trap you play, draw 2 cards. So let's go click on the deck that we're running. So I don't know if these will highlight, but let's go into the deck. So the land you're going to be running is Sacred Sanctum, because you're going to be stalling, and of course Teferi loves to stall. So getting some 2 health every couple of turns at a 30% chance after turn 5 is pretty good, and it will give you the edge to edge out any aggro decks or anything like that. Now, as far as the deck itself, other than the land, we run 2 Runeshell Crab, which is a common, pretty easy to get. We run this because it's a 3/3. It can't attack, but it makes a good chump blocker. We run 2 the Saurians. So the Saurians, strongest creature, gets -3/-0, so basically it permanently loses the 3 attacks. So unlike in Magic's Arena, when you get a minus ability, it's permanent. And Magic Arena usually it's temporary, but in this one it's permanent. So this can basically make certain cards totally useless. Plus it only costs 1, and it builds up your ability. So we run 2 of those. For 2 costs, we run Thalia, Guardian, and Theraben, which when it debuts, which is basically enter the battlefield, during your opponent's next turn, their spell costs 2 more. So we run 1 of those. Right here, this is a fun card on debate. I want to run 2, but I kind of just want to get my dailies done without getting beat by other meta decks. But basically what this does is you draft the trap and you add 2 copies of it to your deck. And it's any trap in the game of any color. Now, the chances of you getting a good trap are pretty low, of course, but this allows you to access traps that normally wouldn't be available to you because you're stuck using blue-white because you're Teferi. So if you run 2 of these, you can add a total of 4 traps to your deck, and if you have ways of bouncing it, which we do, you can add even more traps. We love them traps here, bro. Alright, Alarm Bell. So this is a artifact, so you play it. It has 2 charges, so once per turn, you can activate it, draw a creature that costs 2 or less. So you'll be drawing Runeshell Crab, or you'll be drawing the Spectre or Guardian, or the Snapshell Turtle. So we run 2 Alarm Bells. You want to do this to thin your deck, because by the late game you don't want to be drawing creatures. There's really no point in drawing creatures late game, because your spells are pretty much going to do all the work for you. So as soon as you draw Alarm Bell, just use it, and so you run out of creatures. We run 1 Negate. This is very good because a lot of people play the legendary D&D spells. So you can counter a legendary D&D spell and they won't get the upgrade added to their deck, which pretty much shuts them off completely. So when you're playing against like a meta deck and you see like that Brontosaurus ready to come out, or a Druid spell, or whatever it is, just hold up the negate at the exact time when they have the exact mana for the card, and that's usually the card they'll play. You negate it, and that's that. We only run 1. You can probably run 2 if you're missing cards. There's a lot of spells go around. Snapshell Turtle, we only play this because it has a high defense rating, compared to its mana cost, and then every time a trap activates it gets +1, so you can use it to attack things, but it's just a blocker pretty much. It's alive. This is your finishing card. Now this is insane, so hopefully I'll get some footage of what exactly this does. But at the end of your turn, you summon a Skabb, which is a 2/2 creature. And, whoa, okay, I'm not sure what happened there. Where did the Skabb go? Oh, there you go. So, you get an upgrade for each unused mana you have. So an upgrade can be a +3, +1, a +1, +2, trample, flying. There's a whole bunch of different upgrades. So you want to play this near the end of the game or when you know you're going to win, because most opponents can't disarm traps. There's only a few cards in the game that actually disarm traps. So you can easily get like a 10/10 plus. I've gotten a 20/20 before. A Skabb with flying and sneak and armor. So you want to run 2 of these and save it for the late game. But this is the finisher card basically. Teferi Staff, you add a trap from your hand. You draft the trap and then add it to your hand. Of course, run 2 of those. That's self-explanatory. Immolating Glare, we run 2 of these. Destroys the strongest attacking creature. Awesome for any big decks, especially like Nissa OTK. Absorb, another signature spell. If your opponent plays a card that costs 3 or more, counter it and heal yourself for 3. Just be warned if the cost on the card is changed by a spell effect, like for example, I think Jace's ability, you can change all the cards in your deck to cost 1. It will not counter it. It uses the cost at the exact time of the card being played, not the original cost. So just be careful about that. So basically, if you're facing Jace, this card gets pretty useless pretty quickly. Teferi's Acolyte, we run 2 of these. This comes with Teferi, and then this got nerfed because it used to be, I think, a free trap, but now it's the next trap you arm costs 2 less. But it's still pretty good, and it has a huge body, 2/5 for 3. Plus, you can put most of your traps down for either free or just 1 less. 1 Restoration Angel, so this card is busted. So debut, return another friendly creature to your hand and change its cost to 1. So you want to use this on any card with debut. So for example, I play Restoration Angel, and then I bounce back Snare Inspector, and then I play Snare Inspector again to draw 2 more cards. Or I can bounce back my Daravan Guardian to once again make my opponent not be able to play enough spells during the turn. So Restoration Angel is pretty crazy. We only run 1. I am debating. I mean, I feel like I should run 2 only because a lot of the some of the enters are good, but we don't run, I think, enough to make it that much worth it. Next card, which is it's not OP, but it's like one of the best budget cards in the game, is Mist Raven. So it's a 3/3 for 5 and return an enemy creature to the hand when it enters the battlefield. So you can do like a double bounce with Restoration Angel if you haven't had the mana. So that always works. Next we have 2 Second Sun's Dawn. Now, I hate this card in Paper Magic because the original effect is automatically win the game, but this one is different. So instead of automatically winning the game, what happens is you heal yourself for 7, then it shuffles it to your deck, and then the Second Sun itself does 10 damage to each enemy, which, while technically doesn't automatically win you the game, not many decks that can't counter, that don't have a counter spell up or something like that, can survive a 10 damage to their entire board, including the player. So this will do 10 damage to each creature and player. Well, enemy, not you. That'd be weird if it did damage to you. So this is like the ultimate stall card, because not only is that a big heal for 7, but you'll get to 10 pretty quickly, and if you draw it, it's like game over for them. And then we run 2 of those, and then the next one is Day of Judgment, which is destroy all creatures. Self-explanatory, you're basically using this to stall. There's not a single creature in this deck that's worth saving usually, so, I mean, unless you're doing It's Alive. So as soon as the board gets too big and you know you're going to take too much damage, start playing Day of Judgment. And then lastly, Arcanist, the Archmage, which I feel like might get a nerf sometime because it's just crazy, but basically when it debuts for 8, you get 1 of these 3 cards added to your hand, and then the other 2 go to your deck. So the first one is give everybody Sneak, which is technically the worst one because who really cares? You're not attacking with everybody. You're not attacking with creatures really at all. The second one, which is fun, gain control of enemy creature. I mean, when is that not fun? And then the 5th one, which usually screws over all the aggro decks, is the summon 3 Skymaster Sphinxes. Skymaster Sphinx, I can't seem to find it here, but it's a 4/5 or a 3/5 flying creature that when it attacks, your opponent mills 1. But you're basically just using them as blockers. I mean, by the time you play this guy and you draw one of these spells, you're in a really good position. Like, it's insane. Alright, so that's it for the deck. So the goal of the deck is to just survive. Play out a game against the bot. So this is not going to be a typical game, but I'm just going to show you the play style of how it goes. Because unless your opponent's playing counter spells, it'll end up being the same strategy every time, which is basically just stall as long as possible and take out whatever the biggest creature is. So unfortunately, I'm going to be taking 5 here, but Vindictive Shot will kill that. And also, Johnny's pretty crazy. Johnny's one of the most powerful bots, actually, because his ability gets +1 to, like, every single creature in your deck. not at the same time, but it gets pretty wild. So, at the moment, I've drawn Alarm Bell and a lot of low-cost creatures, so that's good. So, another thing you want to know is do not play an artifact over an artifact. Because what that does is you can only activate it once, so if you play this right now, you won't be able to use it again. So if I use the artifact right now, then play it again, I can do it twice. Now, it's been like that since the game started, but I feel like that's kind of OP. But then again, one of the best artifacts decks already got nerfed. And then this is the draft from the, what do you call it? So we'll grab Call of the Wind, because the bots don't play any legendary creatures, basically. Or you can do Break a Leg, is actually pretty, Break a Leg is not that bad. But we'll go with Call with the Wind. So my Ghost right here, or Spirit, will add 2 of those to the hand. And we'll end the turn. And right now, all you want to be doing is just blocking it. And you want to make sure you don't get any of your creatures killed. Like, do it slowly. So like, you don't want to block with a 2/1 because it will die. You want that crab to last forever. Since he has a 5/4, that's one of his most powerful creatures. We want to put Emolating Glare, and we'll put Negate because he doesn't run that many spells, and we're not worried about anything too crazy. So we'll leave it there, and then just end your turn. Basically, never attack. I mean, I could have attacked here, and that would have killed the. Or I can just do it now. I can just block here. So there you go, nice and easy. And as you can see right here, if you look at the Sacred Sanctum going off. So if Sacred Sanctum, oh my goodness, goes off, what do you call it? You get an empty mana gem, which means you keep the gem, but you can't use it right away until your next turn. And we're also 1 trap away from drawing cards. So since I don't think he's gonna play 2, he doesn't have any haste creatures because it's Johnny. So we'll just play that, and we'll play a Turtle. So, oh wow, yeah, that's his second best card.
Right on time.
It's a fairy laughing. Yep, that's like I'm doing. All right, so we'll block that, and then you draw 2 cards, and that happens the entire game. So if you can keep cycling traps by bouncing people and getting all different kinds of traps, like, it will never end. So we have another Call to the Wild. We have Guess Again, so I think he'll play 2 creatures in a row. So we're going to arm our traps, so when they're armed, you can also disarm them. So for example, I'm going to disarm this. But if you have like a cost-reducing ability, make sure you do it correctly, because sometimes the game bugs and it will mess up the mana total. So, but right now I don't have anything special going on, so I can just do whatever. Ooh, +2/+2 and wards. So, Guess Again, we'll counter that. And then you can only attack with 1 creature. That creature becomes a 3/2. Our turtle's a 5/4. We'll attack there. Alright, so now we're getting pretty high on the mana. We don't need any more procs, but we did get this It's Alive, so that's pretty good. So we're going to do Second Sun, because it's nothing really special. I'm going to ram my Snapshell Turtle into him because this card has Trample. Trample is basically your biggest weakness. Now, I'm okay. I'm definitely going to win this match. I got a really crazy hand. But if a card has Trample and you can kill it by attacking, do it, because Trample doesn't activate unless the opponent is attacking you. We also got an interesting trap which counters Enter the Battlefield effects. It's called Trapper Snare. Look, debut, so that's going to get countered. So he won't get the +2. And then draw a card, draw 2 cards, and then look, we have Second Sun. So like, you really don't have to do anything, but I kind of just want to keep, well actually that's a lot of creatures, so we kind of need to kill some stuff. But you know what, and we can't do it yet because we didn't draw enough. Ouch. Alright, so we'll do Mist Raven to flash this back, and then we'll do Negate, and we'll play a Turtle. So I don't think he'll have a spell. Yeah, he don't have a spell. Alright, so he'll just play 2 creatures. I'm not too worried about that. But I do see a Johnny. Johnny's a really good, what do you call it, Planeswalker. Things can get a little bit ridiculous. So we're gonna block here, save some time. And then we have the Acolyte, which also reduces cost by this, but we'll do 10 damage to each. And then I'm gonna fast forward, so that's basically what you do. You just attack, do damage, once you clear the board, and then you want to start attacking with small creatures if you have any left. Now, I want to show you guys what It's Alive does, so I'm going to fast forward the video, so we can skip a lot of it, and get the finisher. Oh, wait, but speaking of finishers, as I said I was going to do that, because I'm recording this live, is Arcanus the Archmage, which is awesome. So, he adds 2 cards to my deck, and I got the Sphinxes, and then the best part about this is I've actually got a really OP hand, is I got Restoration Angel, and you can bounce back Arcanus and play him again for one, and there's no like once per whatever like game on this. So I just added 2 more OP cards to my hand and to my deck, and then got more game control of enemy creatures. So I'll just attack here, and we'll pause it and wait for our big mana. Alright, so now we have the skabb, so I kind of just waited a couple turns, and in this game you can go past 10 mana, or like in Hearthstone, what is it, I think it's gems in Hearthstone, I can't remember, but you can go past that in Magic Spellslingers, which I think is awesome, because there's a lot of big plays that you can't do if you were stuck at 10. So we just lost the card because we were too full, but we're going to play It's Alive for 2, or actually, yeah, for 2, for the max. And then I'll attack with this just to get it killed, if you want to just attack with a huge skabb zombie thing. So he'll play his card. So I have 14. The 2 mana is going to be used for the It's Alive. So as you can see, we've just made a Flying Sneak, Trample, Armor 16/9 zombie Stitcher Skabb. I said Scarab, it's a Skabb. So yeah, as you can see, things get OP, and then because I doubled the Sphinxes, I can play these Sphinxes, I can take control of this monster, I still have 50 traps to play. So yeah, it does get pretty crazy, but let's go attack and get that sweet victory. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I don't put out videos too often, but we'll do some here and there. But if you guys enjoyed this video or want to check out Spellslingers, Magic Spellslingers, it's free and it's pretty good, free to play. I think I have another video on that, but I can't remember where it is because I did it a little while ago. But it is very, very free to play friendly, and there's definitely tons of strategies you could use, and you can earn currency and collect rewards without ever touching online PvP, which I think is the best part because sometimes I just don't want to play with other people. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.